Welcome to Kenya Literature Bureau Mathematics webinar on the CBC Rationalized Curriculum. We have lined up huge information for your advantage as a career teacher or educationist or a partner within education. As we start off, I want to introduce myself. I'm Justin Koech, Head of Marketing Team at Kenya Literature Bureau. Welcome all. To start us off, we want to do so in prayer or with prayer by Mr. Adede. Mr. Adede, all the way from Kisumu, may the meeting start with your prayer. Mr. Adede. Mr. Adede, please. Can we unmute Mr. Adede to lead us in word of prayer? Let us unmute Mr. Adede to lead us in word of prayer. Madam Kui, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Koech. Let us believe and pray. Thank you, God, for the gift of life this morning. We thank you, Lord, for all you have done for us. We thank you for keeping us safe from the last time you were here on Friday. Lord, we want to dedicate this webinar into able hands that God, you're going to give us the clarity of mind. We also pray for our facilitators that you shall also give them the wisdom they need to inspire us with new insights. We thank you for the top management of KLB for enabling this webinar happen and all other players that will be playing a role this morning. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so very much, Madam Ukui, for the opening prayer. Adede has called to say he will close the prayer to close the session later will be his, and I want to thank him in advance. Teachers, so many teachers and education partners we have already in the room, feel most welcome to Kenya Literature Bureau. KLB is your firm. Kenya Literature Bureau is a state parastatal owned by you, by Kenyan government. Before we go to the details of the mathematics training, I'd like to request Madam Ukui again to take us through the journey of publishing on how Kenya Literature Bureau has metamorphosized from the small publishing house for the elite society in 1947 to where we are today. Welcome, Ukui. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Koech, and welcome all our teachers from across the country and beyond. Karibuni sana. And we also request that you remind a fellow teacher to join in case you have not joined in. Allow me to take you through a brief presentation of the journey of KLB from when we began and where we are going. So KLB began its journey 77 years ago in 1947, and we were established as the East Africa Literature Bureau. And 30 years after that, the East African Literature Bureau became a department in the Ministry of Education. And with the collapse of the East African community in 1980, on the 4th of July, we were enacted under the Kenya Literature Bureau Act of CAP 209 with a mandate to publish and print and disseminate quality educational materials. And we're happy to report that in our publishing house, we have competent staff who offer a wide array of knowledge through the publishing of these books and learning materials, both in hard and soft copy. And other than the staff, we also are home to top authors and who produce quality printed books and other materials. And we shall be having some of the top authors talking to us this morning. KLB is guided by the vision, mission, and core values. And we envisage ourselves to have a knowledgeable and inspired society. And this is through the quality publications we churn out. And in the long run, we envisage to provide innovative and competitive publishing and printing solutions. Mr. Koech maybe would have mentioned that we're the only publishing house with an in-house printing press fully established, and we also be able to provide printing solutions for all your needs. Other than that, we have core values which we hold dearly to our heart. We are focused on the customer. All our activities we face our activities to the customer. We have staff and authors who are full of integrity. We are creative, we are innovative, and we publish quality and quality materials and give you publishing and printing solutions that meet the quality standards, which are guided by ISO procedures. Our mandate, as I said earlier, we publish, we print, and we disseminate these educational materials across the country, both in hard and soft copy. And to guide our core values, we have a citizen delivery charter, which guides us on how we shall engage with you, the customer. And the process of publishing begins by acquiring a manuscript, which is at no cost. So if you look at the screen in front of you, we offer a service of publishing educational materials, and the requirement for this is to give us a manuscript. And we welcome all teachers on this call. If you have been inspired to write, please bring your manuscript to us. We shall be able to look at it and advise you on the way forward. And of course, all these services are guided by timelines, which we adhere to. And after the manuscript has been adopted, we now print it. And through, again, we give you timelines which we adhere to. If it is the work we are doing, we shall do it within 14 days. And if it is a quotation you need for the order, we shall give it to you in 2 days. After the printing has been done, we sell these educational materials, and our route to the market is through the bookshops. And this is guided by the price list. And of course, we adhere to the regulations of pricing in Kenya. And of course, the bookshops in turn will also sell in line with our prices. And we have a customer service center that would be on standby to assist you with these quotations, and our warehouse to ensure that these books get to you at the right time in the right form. We also operate in an ecosystem where we have suppliers. So we actually deal with them within the terms of contract, which we have signed with them. And of course, if you happen to write to us, walk to our offices, we shall be able to give you the customer service you require and deserve. And in line with our terms of timelines, we shall be able to give you response within 14 days if it is written. And if you are with us, it would be real time. And if it is attending to phone calls, we'll ensure that the phone does not ring more than 3 times before you can be responded to. And finally, I want to thank you all teachers for listening in. I see the room is already at 300. We look forward to busting the numbers this morning. Thank you so much and enjoy the webinar. Asante sana.
Thank you so very much, Madam Marjorie Mukui, for the elaborate introduction of Kenya Literature Bureau from then and up to today. Our teachers, I want you to enjoy Kenya Literature Bureau. I did mention, and Mukui has mentioned, that Kenya Literature Bureau is a state parastatal owned 100% by government of Kenya. We are the only publishing house, commercial publishing house for the government of Kenya and for you by extension. We want you to take pride, to live the vision of Kenya Literature Bureau, to have a knowledgeable and inspired society. That is what we live, and we want to walk that vision all through with you. Under the mathematics, therefore, we have significantly published under the 844 sufficient amount of mathematical knowledge. Just like under CBC, we've published sufficient mathematical knowledge. to the extent that we have published from PP1 all the way under CBC up to grade 9. Before the facilitator come on board, I'd like to share the image of our PP1 of what we have. Under PP1, therefore, we have under PP1 or under preschool market segment, we have a cohort of brands. We have a set of brands. We have Skill Grow brand, we've got the Tayari brand, and Fast Track Phonics for you under preschool. Those are the brands which we have, and I've mounted on the page the covers of the books which we have published for you to make you an efficient teacher and to build a solid foundation that can withstand the significant height a child will go in education. We have sufficient information, 2 key publications, Skill Grow and Tayari. That is a foundation which we are saying we have built for your children to ensure that they go to any height. With that, we ensure, therefore, that our children will go to significant level. For early grade, we have Visionary Mathematics as a brand, and the former Tusome called KLB Early Grade series for mathematics, along with their teacher's guide. So to the preschool, we have the course book and the TGs. And in the grade, we have the TGs, we have the course book and the TGs. We have 2 brands for mathematics for grade 1, 2, 3. We have the Visionary Mathematics, and we have early grade mathematics, previously to Some. Both these 2 brands have been revised in tandem with the rationalized curriculum. That is what we shall call on you. Enjoy. From grade 4, 5, 6, we have the main series, KLB Visionary Mathematics. And we want to say thank you so very much, teachers, for finding value in our mathematics grade 4. Our mathematics grade 4, in my estimation, must have been the leading book in the country, because every teacher, public and private school, wanted to have or got a chance to use our Visionary grade 4. And subsequently, grade 5, 6, rested on the strength of grade 4, which gave them energy to reach the levels they gave you in teaching, meeting your teaching needs and the learning needs of children. We are sincerely grateful for this team for this book, Visionary grade 4. And therefore to grade 5, 6, and 7. Grade 4, 5, and 6. I'm trying to locate myself under Zoom so that I share with you the image of our grade 7 and 8. Both of these books have been revised in line with the rationalized curriculum. Grade 7 will be available. Grade 7 will be looked into by our editor, able editor, Mr. Joel Okindo, to show you the real rationalization that has taken place as evidence of what is taking place in grade 8. So grade 7 and 8 are totally new books as per the curriculum, new rationalized curriculum. We at Kenya Literature Bureau has made sure that the grade 9 will be available for your readership. Grade 9, we are moving to serious mathematics, and you will note that this is more closer to the Form 1. Kenya Literature Bureau Mathematics course book in the past 844 has been strong, and we've not let you down with the grade 9. Similarly, this is one book which we have ensured that it gives you the mathematical experience. Anybody who wants to experience maths in its right shape and content is in Top Scholar Mathematics grade 9 and forms the foundation for the next level into the senior school. That is why it is easy to marry the Top Scholar Mathematics grade 9 with other reference materials used in examination. Among them is 4-figure mathematical tables. The 4-figure mathematical tables is a book owned by Examination Council, but Kenya Literature Bureau has given the mandate to print and distribute That is why we want to encourage you to read Top Scholar Grade 9, because we've married so seamlessly with four-figure mathematical table, which is a basic book, which is the only book allowed in examination. Therefore, your children will learn sufficiently well when they have this book. And they have the Top Scholar, they can interpret the maths neck table sufficiently well. As I usher in the mathematics team, therefore, we make sure that you are a strong mathematics teacher and that you have a strong child in mathematics. We even have a dictionary of mathematics. Never before in this country has anybody produced a maths dictionary other than Kenya, like Kenya Literature Bureau. We take pride in all of you who have made Kenya Literature Bureau their source of information for mathematical knowledge or any other. Gives us strength and guidance on what you want. We've given you resourceful books across all the course books which you've mentioned there for teachers. Across all the course books, we have ensured that the course books meet the CBC tenets or principles, the various competencies. From the cover page, we can see the linkage as a tenet or principle of CBC. We have competencies, we have linkages, we have good values. On the cover alone, one is able to see the digital literacy under the Top Scholar Mathematics, grade 9. We can see the globe, and you're able to link first from the calculator. You're able to link mathematics to pre-tech, computer science under pre-tech. From the cover alone, you are able to link the globe to geography or social studies at that level. Linkage is done on the cover. So therefore, competencies brought about by CBC, very straightforward competencies, is showed on the cover of this book. The cyclist scaling up, showing the hypotenuse, would be an example, if it is in real athletics, of self-efficacy as a competency. And the graph behind, deep there, shows critical thinking and problem solving, because that now is deep mathematics. This is your book. This is the book from your company, the Top Scholar, to make you the great teacher you've always desired yourself to be, and the great students to reach the heights that you want them to reach. I therefore want to encourage you, indulge all of you in this facilitation, enjoy the mathematics facilitation by Kenya Literature Bureau. We have lined up, as Madam Mukui said, we've lined up a huge set of facilitators who understand. They are practicing teachers, they understand the curriculum better, they have written books. A number of them, if not all of them, have been involved with KICD in terms of formulating the curriculum design. They've been involved with examination council. Even our lead editor and Kenya Literature Bureau, in totality, has been involved with examination council. And therefore, in matters assessment, you are home. In matters interpretation of curriculum, you are home. Therefore, I want to say, welcome all of you. Having that background, I want us now get to the details and see through the eyes of the facilitators and the editorial team what they have lined up for us. Welcome the team, Joel, Okindo, and the panelists. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. As you have heard, my name is Joel Okindo, an editor for mathematics with Kenya Literature Bureau. We are very much excited today to present to you the changes that happened in our books for Visionary and Top Scholar series. So with me, I'm with my colleague, editor, Mr. Hesbon Omedo, and we have aligned two other authors, Mr. Obadiah Kiburi and Mr. Vincent Odhiambo, who we have involved so much in producing these books. So in our alignment, we want to start with Mr. Obadiah Kiburi, so that he can give us what they had to do in these books. And once he has done that one, I'll come in so that I can strengthen and show you where these changes were happening from our books, so that we can be clear how we have produced these books with a new version. So with this one, I invite Mr. Obadiah Kiburi just to take us through the strengths that we identified to produce these books as per the curriculum design dictated us to follow. So that after that, I'll give a brief view of the changes in our books. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bwana Okido, for that brief introduction. I'm Obadiah Kariuki Kiburi, another, a teacher. Yeah. And I wish to present the strengths of version and mathematics books as presented in our books. One, I would like to highlight that in the ordering of our version and mathematics books, we follow what we call the pedagogical approach, that there are concepts, the way the concepts should be developed. We are aware, having been a long-studying teachers for a long time, we are aware that the concepts are well presented if they run from simple to complex, easy to difficult, and that is the way we arrange our book. So we have made it very easy for the learners to learn from what is easy to be understood to what is difficult in that kind of a progression. And that is why when you look at our books, you agree with us that we develop from what is it to be understood by the learners so well to what is complicated. And we try as much as possible to introduce our concept in a very, very simple way and a very interesting indeed. We have tried as much as possible.
Joel and panelists, can you share your screen? Share your screen.
si vitu inakwama. So it was quite clear. Hello, hello. Can you
The team from Joel team, you've muted. Joel team, you've muted. Obadiah, you are muted. You are muted. Yes. Now you're okay. You are now. You can now continue talking to us. You are not audible still, Joel.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry for the disconnection. I was saying that the approach we have given to our books is quite pedagogical and is developed in such a way that the learner will understand the concept very well indeed. In our presentations, we have tried as much as possible to have the real life cases, the context itself. In every concept, we have made the so-called one-day problems, where the child will read the question, also through reading, they improve their reading skills and the like. And this makes the learning quite interesting. We have tried as much as possible to create what we call the issues from the environment. If we are teaching about foundation, yeah, we may talk about a business person, a green fruit vendor who has 150 oranges to sell and buys 8 more. When you are teaching about the foundation with regrouping from 10s to 100s. So we try as much as possible to bring the real life cases in our books. And this makes the books quite interesting indeed. And I do believe that teachers will agree with me. It has made the versionary mathematics books so marketable because we have made everything real. If you come to the concepts like the measurement, we like to involve them to the real measurement using the tools given. And therefore, the children have the learning, or it becomes very interesting to them. In all areas, even if we talk about the introduction of our fractions, we try to involve them in those activities that will make them understand what is a half to them, what is a quarter, the real life. And we do encourage the teachers to make sure that the learners are involved in those activities. In so doing, it becomes quite interactive to the learner, hands-on activities that makes the concept very real to them. And actually, it demystifies the concept to the learner. Yeah. We have also given a very, very elaborative example to the learner to discuss with other learners. And we have tried as much as possible to follow what the design or what KICD emphasizes, that the learning should be from the activity point of view, the learners who do the activity. Yeah, after understanding more about the activity, they will discuss the example. Then from the example, we give them work to do, which is very interesting indeed. And we have given adequate work to the learner. So there's no way the learner will say that the book is a bit boring. As far as the illustrations are concerned, we have tried as much as possible to give the illustrations. If we are teaching about the place value concept, we have exposed the learner to a number of place value operators. The abacus, we have told them to use the abacus to place some the rings and then they tell us what number is that represented in that abacus. The other place value operators, place value chart, place value things, all those are done in our books, especially the lower level. We have done that. When you come to the higher level, in grade 5 and the like, when it comes to the equations, which is actually it becomes difficult to the learners, we have tried as much as possible to make the teaching of equations very interesting. The use of the beam balance, where they balance items and then connect to the equation. When you are given an equation, you see that one is as a balance, and the process of removing or adding items to balance, it has been done in our books. So we do believe that our books are very easy to understand, very easy to follow, very interesting. And I do believe the teachers will agree with me that the Visionary Mathematics is the book to go for. When you come to things that are a bit abstract, we have tried to make them real. Consider the lower levels. We have made it possible for the learner to understand what is addition, what is division, and the use of what we call the flashcards is very, very emphasized as far as the learner is concerned. So it is the teacher to follow, especially our teacher's guide is well elaborated on in that area as to what the child should be involved in to understand the concept. We have tried to involve them in games and puzzles as well, so that as they play these games, mathematics becomes real. We don't want the learner to hate mathematics because it's so abstract. So let them interact, and as they interact, they are going to even to improve in their language skills. So we try as much as possible to make sure that even the core competencies are developed. We also try as much as possible to develop the PCIs and the like. When they are doing their group activity, surely they will come to learn more about unity. They will come to learn more about social cohesion. They will come to learn about so many things, love and the like. And we try to make sure that our learners grow as a whole. We have tried as much as possible also to have the digital links so that the children play about with their digital devices, they will come to like mathematics. In the lower levels, the digital links are given in the teacher's guide. In the upper classes, grade 4 up to 6, we have indicated in the learner's book the digital links. Problem solving. Visionary mathematics activities have questions that involve critical thinking for the learners. The learners will come up with the solutions that will help them to develop some analytical skills. In division, when you come to the one-day problems, the learners will think critically, what is this all about? When you talk about the person has 28 fruits, and these fruits will be shared among the 4 children, yeah, the child will start imagining that. But however, we involve them in the initial stages of seeing division as repeat and subtraction. And when they remove 4 groups of items, they will come to know how many times do we take away the groups of 4 to remain with nothing. That kind of hands-on activities make mathematics interesting to the learner. When you come to geometry, we make geometry very interesting, making the patterns using the shapes. The learners will identify the shapes. We tell them that. They are given the shapes to identify. They will arrange the shapes to make patterns and the like. When you come to numbers, creating patterns using numbers at the same time, we also involve them in quite a number of activities, making mathematics real. And actually, I would like to say that we teach them mathematics for life, not for the exams, so that they can make use of this mathematics in everyday life. And in so doing, they actually come to like mathematics and also pass the exams. We also have what we call the collaborative learning, group work, which is during introductory stage. When we have the group work, there's teamwork, which is emphasized. There's unity that is emphasized. As the children discuss their activity, they improve on what we call the communication skills. As I mentioned earlier, as they interact during the group work, there's that social cohesion. More so, the learners will come to understand or to appreciate the weakness and the strong points of the other learner. Look at when we involve them in identification of money. We want them to appreciate the money of their country. We develop the concept of citizenship, which is very, very important in our lives. If they understand about our money and the like, I think we are building a better citizen in life. We do incorporate technology in our teaching. This is adherence to the demands by the curriculum design. And this makes learning more interesting. They become experts. We are experts in developing links for enjoyable learning. As I said earlier, grade 1 to 3, the links are given in teacher's guide. So the teacher is undevised. Can he involve the learners in those digital games? It makes mathematics interesting for the learner. And actually, in so doing, the learner will come to see mathematics is not as difficult as people may think. And again, mathematics for life. When you come to grade 4 and 6, those links given in the learner's book are very good. If they can open the links, they will learn a lot of mathematics as they progress. We have not forgotten that the parents have a role to play in the learning of mathematics. Not that we are telling them to teach mathematics, not at all. We are only advising the parents to create conditions that are conducive to the learning. Look at the concept. We talk about capacity. The learner will do what we call the use of a better unit in measuring capacity. Let them get home, get a cup. They will fill various containers using a certain cup. And the teacher will agree with me. We call that one a fixed unit of measure to find how many can fit or can fill a given container. So we advise the parents, create good conditions for the learner to learn more about this. Measurement of length. Allow the learner to play around with the units of length at home. And we are not advising the parent to teach the child how to learn. No, just give the conditions that are conducive for the learner to learn. And when we all do this, we are trying to make mathematics a bit interesting, easy, and also the learner to see that mathematics can be used for life. And I think in that I've given a very elaborative issue about our version of mathematics. And it is a book to go for because it takes care of every child. The work that is given will take care of not the weak. We don't call them the weak students. These are just who take time to learn, but in the final head, they will get up where the others are. And I think that is all. Thank you for listening to me.
And your team from our end, unless I think the questions will allow this to come at the end of this exercise. But allow me, as I attach another document where we want to discuss the changes which happened in the curriculum design, which enable us to develop or revise this book afresh. Matthew, the report came from the Presidential Task Force recommended the changes and which made the curriculum designers for especially mathematics tone down the content that was produced in our books. So as I try to connect this, maybe just we have to talk about as I share another document. Mr. Coach, am I ready to proceed?
You proceed and share your screen sufficiently. I'm not seeing the screen properly.
There?
Is that your number 7? Is the screen on strength of visionary maths? Is that what you are presenting?
No, another slide about the relationship between mathematics and other learning areas.
No, it's not come. I would have encouraged you. I would have encouraged you.
Yes.
If there is any challenge, the team at the office can share for you.
Okay, let them do so.
No, you need to guide them so that you stop your end and ask them to share what you want to be shared.
Okay, fine.
If there is any, if there is a big challenge from your end.
Okay. Let them do so because let me.
You are okay now. There is some good information coming on board. Joel, or the next presenter, there is good information.
Yes.
Audibility and continuity of your voice is key.
Fine. Now, I'm happy now I can proceed. Oh, my power is going up. Power. Now, sorry for that. I want to go directly and express how these books were developed by following the changes in the curriculum design. Remember that we strictly follow the curriculum design to produce this book. So, I've posted an example of
Maintain proximity to your mic. Maintain proximity to your mic.
Okay. I want to explain how grade 5, as an example of other books, was produced by following up the curriculum design. Before we go to make changes in these books, we normally do analysis of the previous curriculum design and the current curriculum design. So what we did, we looked at all the SLOs, the specific learning outcomes and the specific learning areas. Are they aligning with the new designs? Are all the strands covered? And all other learning requirements, are they being captured well? So with that report, in grade 5, we realized that if you look at the strand algebra was toned down, it was a strand and later, now it was made to be a substrand, meaning content was removed. Numbers, the concept for the strand was freshly developed. So we had to go back and develop new learning materials, new concepts, and the expectations that the learners require in that area. Across our books, especially the use of the ICT, all they were scrapped because we realized that learners cannot be given an assignment to use the laptops or any other material to search for internet and get materials from the internet if they cannot get the internet at their place. What I mean is this: all the learning activities across our books, they deleted the use of the ICT. And where the ICT is supposed to be used, it was taken to the either extended activity or the learner's book, or the teacher's book. especially you'll note in our lower primary books, the grade 1 to 3, we don't put the links in the learner's book. We guide the teacher to guide the learners on how they can get the information from the internet by guiding them how to do that one. If I proceed to the new teacher's guide, the new teacher's guide, we are now doing what we call, we guide the teacher on what you are supposed to do. For instance, the design we have now, where we have the assessment methods and assessment tools, we have given the format on the preliminaries, how the teacher can develop those measurement tools in order, when we go to the specific strand or the substrand, we mention to the teacher what is appropriate for them to use. And now you get that the new teacher's guide has reduced in terms of volumes. And now the teacher can use that one either to check the answers and any other checking how the PCLs have been mainstreamed. Another depth that we work on, especially you can see from the screen, it is how we looked at the SLOs. I've mentioned about them, the rubrics, which were in every substrand, end of every substrand, they were recommended to be used. But now, because of the new design, in every substrand, we are trying to vary the measuring tools and the methods. I think up to that far, I'll leave this one to my colleague, Mr. Omedo, to look at how the integration of our books is done with other learning areas. Welcome, Mr. Omedo.
Thank you very much, Joel, and good morning, everyone. I'd like to present on how the teaching of our mathematics in our books is linked to other learning areas. In developing this content for our mathematics, right from grade 1 all the way up to top scholar grade 9, we have made attempt to link mathematics to other learning areas. This is meant particularly to debunk what has been always thought that, so that our teachers, here, due respect, are not called walimu wa maths, so that mathematics become friendly and mathematics teachers become accessible, just like the teacher of the other learning areas. How mathematics is linked to integrated science, for instance, the visionary and top scholar mathematics have made deliberate attempts to link mathematics or the particular strands such as estimation, graphing, statistics into integrated science. Real life situational scenarios have been developed such that the particular reference is made to the topics or the concepts that are integrated science. Like when you go to data analysis, you find how scientific data is collected, presented, and analyzed, and conclusions derived, which are particularly meant for the integrated science. In the learning area of languages, particularly when we are solving the word problems. The word problems are those problems. We don't call them problems anymore, but we call them the authentic situations. The authentic situations are those questions where we don't just give numbers for mathematical solutions, but we give real life situations or scenarios, that context that the learner read through, understand, and then put it into mathematical situation and solve them. For learners to do this, as learners read through this kind of situations, they develop more understanding they develop more of the language vocabulary and the language use and the language interpretation. that has been taken care of in our authentic questions that we have in all our books, starting from grade 3 all the way to grade 9. How we are linked creative art, the concepts such as symmetry, geometry, patterns, which forms an integral part of art and design, have been developed so nicely in all our books and integrated such that examples are given to the patterns that are seen in real art situation or in creative situations. Learners are also given the latitude to develop the creative mind as they understand the mathematics concepts that are presented around around symmetry and the integration to subject like the learning area of performing arts, for example. The area of performing arts, rhythm and musical notations, which involve understanding, oh, sorry, I'll take that again. In performing, the relationship to the performing arts, which involves things like patterns and sequences to form rhythms. Mathematics involves a lot of patterns, like the number patterns that we have, and other patterns around the number patterns and other patterns around algebra are used and is related to the subject or the learning area of performing arts. Real life situations have been presented in our top scholar books that you'll see how the application and the relevance of performing arts to mathematics is presented. This all is meant to present mathematics not in isolation, but as a learning area which is intertwined with all the learning areas. Mathematics and social studies are also not treated in isolation, but mathematics is presented such that the social scientists find it accessible, and not only accessible, but also usable in their case. The mathematical skills are necessary for understanding those things or social studies such as charts, the data that are presented there, and graphs, which form an integral part of understanding and interpretation of data around social studies. In business studies, which we know as a nation, is very important for development of any nation, in the socio-economic development of any nation. Mathematics, in our mathematics books, we have presented quite a number of strands around business studies to enhance not only financial literacy, but also to give the learners, the users, the learners, and equip the teachers and both teachers and learners with the requisite knowledge around financial literacy. For example, when we teach profit and loss, we don't just give learners numbers to subtract the bigger one from the smaller one, but we give them the real life situation and also give them scenarios that they see that if you go into this business, then definitely you are going to a loss-making business, or when you do this business, then chances of you making a profit are higher. Making them make rational decision on the financial decision that they undertake. For example, when they decide to go the higher purchase way and the cash price way, where are they saving? Where are they helpful to them? Such kind of relationship between business studies and mathematics is presented with deliberate clarity and ease for the learners to understand. And with this, the business studies, the learner find the learning of math not in vain. This echo, sorry. Echo.
Okay. Net from this other side.
Yes, that makes the learning of mathematics relevant into the day-to-day lives of our learners. And with that, that is the present relationship between mathematics and other learning areas. Thank you very much, Dale. Back to you.
Thank you, Justin. I think at this point, we come back to you. I don't know if you're going to ask Mr. Kiburi questions before we bring in Mr. Odhiambo, or we bring Mr. Odhiambo immediately.
We bring in Mr. Odhiambo immediately because question time can take a lot of time. So that some questions which would have come later, it can be, which would have may have come, can be tied at the end. Let Odhiambo come in straight.
Fine. I think, Mr. Odhiambo, you can hear that. Then you unmute yourself as I share your work.
Hello.
We can hear you, Mr. Odhiambo. I'm trying to share your screen. Or Mr. Mukuyu, if you can manage from your side, please, I'll appreciate.
Mr. Okindo, if you, now that you've been sharing this one successfully, yours and Mr. Umedo, you can share because you can even know where to jump to. You have the slides.
I have them.
Yes.
Now you
Mount
can
them
be
on your machine and then share. It will be what will be seen.
That's okay.
In the meantime,
Mr.
Vincent Odhiambo can go over what is coming to say so that we don't break our teachers. Vincent?
Can you hear me?
You are very audible.
Thank you so much, Mr. Koech, Mr. Kindo, and the team. I want to thank the presenters today. They have done a good job. They have presented very comprehensive information. I have a few areas to add to what they have shared with us. I want to say that we have been guided very well by the curriculum designs, which KICD released. The designs have guided the authors and the publishers in developing the junior secondary school mathematics books. All the strands and substrands have been sufficiently covered. The specific learning outcomes have also been adequately addressed alongside the suggested learning experiences. All the pertinent and contemporary issues have been mainstreamed throughout the substance. The expected values have been infused in all the substrands as advised. We have structured the teacher's guides in such a way that any information we have on a substrand takes care of the core competencies to be developed for a substrand, takes care of the values, takes care of the pertinent and contemporary issues to be addressed. When I know you may not be having some of these books, but when you get to the teacher's guide, grade 7, this will be explained. The first substrand in the teacher's guide is whole numbers. And when you check what we have for whole numbers, we have the core competencies to be developed, taken care of, the values, the suggested patterns, and contemporary issues taken care of. When you check vocabulary, the vocabulary is quite appropriate to the level of authors to make the language very. On learning activities, the activities are relevant and in line with the specific learning outcomes. They are tolerable with variants required are readily available and within reach to the learner. The activities are either in pairs or groups. This not only helps in understanding different perspectives, but also fosters teamwork and communication skills. We've had a feeling out there that the activities are that expensive. I want to encourage the teachers that the activities are simple. You don't have to go to a shop to manage an activity. When you look at the activities we have, even for algebra, when I take you to grade 7 learners book on algebraic expressions, I know you don't have it, but this is just to explain that what we have lined up in the books are very friendly and should not really worry the teachers and the learners. We have, I have an example activity 2, page 77, for those who may refer to grade 7, top scholar, where we have Karisa buys mangoes from a kiosk. He then buys 2 more mangoes from another kiosk. Then you are instructing the learner to use a letter to represent the number of mangoes Karisa bought from the first kiosk, instructing the learner to write down an algebraic expression, and then really you don't have to move out of the classroom to get the item. So at times we go to the considerations where some of these concepts can be explained. When you look at geometrical constructions, really what we did for the constructions, we have from grade 7 to grade 9. There's just a tool. You need a set of mathematical instruments. That one covers everything. So it doesn't make really the activities, the geometrical constructions that expensive. And with that tool, the instructions on constructing the angles, say the angle of 60 degrees, the angle of 90 degrees, and all those are very clear. And the learner, together with the teachers, should be able to manage. We have now readily available a calculator from grade 9, grade 12, several. These activities are really friendly. When you check on measurements, the activities having measurements, quite a number of them just need paper cutouts and very clear instructions and not very demanding. So in short, what I'm saying is that that activities are expensive, are very involving. It is not there in our books. It's not there in our books. and encourage the teachers just to get time, go through our instructions, and manage life application concepts are used in daily life. Making questions are drawn from the examples such as farming, technological advancement. Mr. Meda has spoken about to other care of. I may not again repeat that bit. Now, I want to mention that we have really addressed critical thinking and problem solving. The books focus on activities that require critical thinking and problem solving skills. This includes puzzles. We have a very interesting puzzles. If you look at the concepts involving sequences in book 7, we have nice puzzles that would really make learning interesting. So this includes, I want to repeat, puzzles, logic problems, and open-ended questions that promote deeper understanding. Tasks have been developed to encourage learners to explain their reasoning and thought processes. We have, as much as possible, lined up our activities in such a way that we allow the learners to get to really what is required out of a concept. And when you allow the learners through very clear instructions, they are excited at the end of the day when you give them that time to discuss and share their observations. We have lots of continuous assessments through authentic exercises aimed at evaluating the books. We have tried to observe the levels of Bloom's taxonomy, which covers the knowledge comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. I may not have much to say, given that my other colleagues have really covered a lot of good stuff as far as our books are concerned. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Back to you, Joel. You can confirm to us that we can now go to question and answer.
Yes, now I want to bring Mr. Badia to listen, and even Mr. Odhiambo. You can write down what is.
Yes.
Mr. Odhiambo will be answering anything that is concerning GSS, and Mr. Badia will be answering questions from grade 1 up to grade 6. So, I think now, Mr. Badia, hear and listen to your questions.
So, Kindo, let us have Mr. Odhiambo answering the following question so that we get to Obadiah. It's a question from Charles Oroma, indicates that good facilitation. Thanks, as I enjoy this presentation, being that this is my area of interest. Just a question, in grade 7 mathematics, in the strand measurements and substrand length, bracket circumference, the design does not show where to work out the revolution. And yet this is being set by NEC. Why do NEC set what is not in the design? Unlike the old curriculum 844, circumference and revolution were well articulated in class 6. As the authors, bracket, stroke writers and producers, what can you do about this? That is about the circumference from that area of grade 7 in the light of examination. The second part of the question, Mr. Charles asks, the second question is that why is it that some substrands are not systematically arranged? He gives an example, e.g., the fractions and decimals, unlike they were systematically well organized in your old edition primary mathematics. Hope to get a response to aid us in proper implementation of this curriculum. He says there is no the systematic arrangement of the content in fractions. Mr. Obadiah and even the first part is for Mr. Odhiambo, the second part Obadiah can react to it. Odhiambo, you can start from there.
Thank you, Mr. Koech. We are yet to get the terminal exam for grade 9, but this question on circumference and revolutions. Revolutions, even if they are not mentioned, these are multiples of circumferences. So it's a kind of application, and I don't see the area where the revolution now is infused in being a big problem. So I think what we need really to do with the learners is to really explain and make it clear that when we are talking about one revolution, that is equivalent to a single circumference, such that now when we have several revolutions, then we now come in with a multiple issue of circumferences. I think that would be my response. To me, it's a bit of application, which should not be a big deal.
Thank you. The second part about strands not being systematically arranged. I don't know whether there is some information which is not coming out clear from Walimu. Is there knowledge which is not systematically arranged and is being taught in a broken manner? As examples, he has quoted fractions and decimals.
Thank you. I would really the Mwalimu would have really assisted us as authors now to give us those particular areas which are not consistently organized. Then we would have handled that question confidently. But now it's open-ended, so we really do not know where the issue is.
Thank you, Odhiambo. The spiral knowledge organization is what normally happens. As Odhiambo has said, when I also noticed, and I said I have interest because I'm a maths teacher. I'm a maths teacher by training. I wanted to hear also where this knowledge is not spirally organized, and why would it be for this case? Because the fractions of grade 6 you would build it for grade 8 progressively as you go. That is a spiral arrangement. This Odhiambo has answered sufficiently because the question is open-ended. Next one would be from Caroline Nafula. She makes an observation. Maybe I read for Joel and Omedo. The mathematics visionary books are good, but the limitations are that those tasks to the learners are mixed up in one exercise. They are good, but the learners are mixed up. But the limitations are those tasks. The tasks to those learners to those tasks. But the limitations are that those tasks to the learners are mixed up in one exercise. My request is that be specific in examples in measurement in grade 5. If it is converting kilometer into meters, let the learners deal with one concept at a time before they do a mixed task. So she's saying that we have units of kilometers in the same question and meters. Could be, Obadiah can have ventilate onto the query from Nafula.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
I'm very, very sure that those issues have been addressed in the new book, because we were learning from the old guide. You check in the new book, those issues have been addressed.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Obadiah. One, Mr. Nyongesa Mwambani from Kamaruso School in Eldama Ravine, Baringo. He says, I thank you for the good presentation. What is the guys' conclusion on those internet links to schools in rural areas, or those young ones with who live with guardians unable to access internet? In the extreme cases, there are schools which do not even have internet access completely. And from here, Mr. Nyongesa, we will only whenever we get in contact with the Ministry of Education, we can pass your concern. However, I personally appreciate your presence in the webinar all the way from Kamaruso school. There is another term, there is something called height. I thought your school has something height or altitude. Kamaruso altitude, something like that. I happen to know the school, but I take pride in meeting you in this conference. Thank you. We'll pass your message to the ministry officials.
Hello.
Vincent Nyagaka, ask your question. I want to answer. I have not ignored, but where is the question? You said, Koech, kindly answer my question. Hope you are not ignoring. I will want you raise up your hand so that when we open, we'll give you opportunity to answer, to ask. Vincent? Lawrence Kibet, Koech. No, wait, Vincent. Hello? Not now. Vincent, wait.
Yes.
Raise up your hand and later I'll give you the opportunity. Lawrence Kibet, help me please answer my question. Which mathematics book is the best for grade 7, 8, and 9? I beg to be answered. I would imagine Top Scholar is a book to go for. Why? Because it has interpreted the curriculum as it were. Secondly, it is fully approved. Thirdly, well priced. No mathematics book today in the market matches in price with Top Scholar. No mathematics book today in terms of reflecting the rationalized area meets the Top Scholar. Even Midway, we are way ahead. So Top Scholar, Mr. Koech, Kibet, Lawrence, is a book to go for because of quality in content, because of quality in terms of pricing. Every child and every parent can afford. It's been written by a big wealth of knowledge in the name of facilitators. Now, anonymous attendee at 1101 says, how can you advise teaching junior school? Can we allow students to use calculators and also in grade 9 NEC exams, KJSE, KJSCEA? Will the learners be allowed to use calculators in the examination room? We do not have an examination official here, but my able panelists should be able to give guidance on what will happen. Joel and Tim?
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, as per the use of calculators, according to the curriculum design, the use of calculators was introduced in class 7, rather grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. So I can confidently say that learners in grade 7, 8, and 9 are allowed to use calculators to facilitate the learning of mathematics in those grades. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, what's another, Eric Amoshe, before I hand over to questioners on the other side, Eric Amoshe asks, what steps have your books taken to cater for all groups of learners in mathematics? He says, kinesthetic, I think this is quite technical, kinesthetic, 2, visual, 3, auditory. Mr. Omedo.
Yes, the ICD in its mandate has always provided the versions for learners with low audition, low vision, and low auditory with auditory challenges. They provided alternatives of our translated of our books, like the grade 7, we have the brailles, we have the books for the learners with the low auditory challenges. So the ICD has taken care of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Kui, I'd like you to invite participants who have raised their hands up, including Vincent Nyagaka.
Maybe, Bwana Mr. Koech.
Yes, Yes, GM, come on.
Yeah, on that area of inclusive learning for all the learning abilities, I wish to add that after we've done books for the normal, there would be normal learners who have no whatever identified disabilities. We have, or rather we give KICD the right to convert our titles into all particular disabilities that are there amongst our learners. So we have, including Braille, low vision, all those. And those books, once they have been adapted for all the learning abilities, KICD normally mandates KRB the role of printing and distributing these books to all the learning institutions. So if you have any institution that has those learners and they are not captured, please, for the sake of meeting the needs of those learners, we request our teachers to ensure that they are captured, the information is shared, such that when we are distributing these books to those learners, they are able to be reached. And if there is any particular institution that has not been reached because information either is not available, please share it, because that is the information we keep on updating with the KICD and the ministry, so for such learners to be reached. That is what I wanted to add to whatever Bwana Omedo had said, that we do convert content to meet all the learning abilities that are there in our Kenyan space. Thank you.
Thank you, GM. May I request Madam Okui to come on board to point out the new speakers, to new questionnaires.
Thank you, Mr. Koech. Today we have 15 hands so far raised. I would call on board Vincent Nyagaka. Vincent has been with us alongside other teachers from Monday. So I'll give Vincent 1 minute. After Vincent, we shall unmute Faith Kideka. I hope your hand is up by design. And then we shall have Robin Elias as well. Vincent.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vincent. Vincent, you're breaking.
My question was, when are you getting the certificates, and were you to refund us some data? That was my question. I had sent it 10:13, and Mr. Koech had not answered it. Otherwise, have a nice time, and thank you for holding this webinar throughout the week.
Thank you, Vincent. I will allow Mr. Koech to respond to that now that he is able to speak.
Thank you so very much, Madam Okui and Vincent Nyagaka. For certificates, we were waiting to finish today so that we use mail merge. We pick all the notes and the certificates to the mail. If you register using one mail, you'll receive everything at once, so that instead of issuing certificates and notes every day, we thought we could issue at once. So we'll do that by tomorrow. We should be able to send to all of you. We are sincerely apologetic for the data. We had not sufficiently catered for the data. We apologize, but we promise any other time we'll take sufficient measures to cover the data refund or the data for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Koech. We have Grace Loipokopenyi. Grace, I think your hand just went up a few minutes ago. All right. Looks like she's still trying to unmute. I'll give Robin Elias a chance to speak. Robin, if you're ready. Just unmute.
Instead, hope you can hear me.
Yeah, please proceed.
Okay, I was asking about the top scholar because I've been using the book since the last 2 years. I asked about the grade 7 top scholar. Why is about the substrand area? About the substrand area, why is the book not talking about acres and it's only talking about the hectares? So because I found some books there talking about acres, but also acres and hectares. But when I looked about the top scholar there, they are just talking about hectares. I cannot see the acres part. Then about the grade 5, I've been using the visionary there. I think the question has been answered by Koech there about the mixture of the content there, about the exercises there. You get that the same exercise is just having maybe division and multiplication like kilometers and meters. So it's like let them have them separately. Then about the grade 6, I've been using the visionary. So about the substrand, the angles there, I think it's more of shallow, the content somehow small. So I think maybe with them, let's widen the content there. Also, the grade 7, also about the substrand there, I can see there are some questions about the revolutions there and circumference, the distance. I mostly see that the questions there, they are somehow shallow. So let's try to widen up the content there about the revolution. So that's my take.
Hello? Hello?
Yes?
May I respond on the issue concerning angles in grade 6? Whatever
Yes.
in the book, we are dictated by the design from KICD.
Yes.
And it's not possible to go beyond the KICD requirement.
Okay.
So that is as per requirement by KICD, please.
Okay. And what about the hectares and the acres part in grade 7 top scholar?
In the top scholar mathematics grade 7, the area of area, the unit for measurement of area, you realize that we only use acres and hectares, and acres was not used because of 2 reasons. One, is not a standard measure, just like the yards, which of measurement. That is why it's not there. And 2, the demand of the curriculum design restricts us to the use of the units of Rs and hectares for area because they are derived or developed from the meter. Thank you. And on the length, where you talk about revolution, that one again is coming from the specific learning outcomes that are demanded by the curriculum design. Thank you.
Mwalimu, I hope you have been responded to and you are okay with the response. All right. Yes, Loipo Kenyi.
Yes.
Karibu sana, and tell us where you're listening from.
I'm listening from Samburu.
Karibu sana.
I thank you so much for the progress and everything that you are doing. These CBC books, I find them, some are very shallow, and on part of examples, there are very few. Now that this CBC thing is, most of the time is child-centered. So when the children went to work alone, they find that they have a very few examples to lead them when they are alone without the teacher. Makiu, in this area of ours, most of parents do not know even how to read and write.
Madam Grace?
Yes.
Let me say that we are strictly guided by the design.
Yes.
And that you have, for you, you may think that it's not enough for those learners, but we are guided. What we have given those learners is as per that level. So don't overteach. What you have given you, actually, I've gotten some people who are talking about our grade 7 being shallow. Being shallow might be shallow to a teacher, but for a teacher who is following the teacher's guide strictly, that knowledge is enough for that level. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel, and I hope Teacher Grace, you're now well guided.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Asante. Proceed, Bwana Odhiambo.
Hello. I also wanted to put it to Grace, that the expectations of people out there are too high. At grade 7, we are handling a learner who has just come from grade 6. Some people in the old school think that this learner now should be subjected to the Form 1 work. You remember Form 1, where we had admissions after grade 8. So let us understand the progression so that the grade 7 is not seen as the old Form 1. The grade 7 is seen as a level where, you know, we have to be somewhere in the middle, carrying some work from the former standard 7, standard 8, so that, you know, we don't just move. We must continue bridging the gap. Thank you.
Thank you, our facilitator, Bwana Odhiambo, for that clarification. I'm sure we are well guided. So I'll take one last question from John Muma, and then we go back to the Q&A. John Muma, if you may unmute your mic. John, please proceed. Okay. I'm going once, going twice. Instead of John, I think we can give Peter Topisia. Peter joined in quite early this morning. So Peter, I'll give you the mic if you're ready. Peter Topisia. Okay. So I think I can give back the microphone to Mr. Koech to take us through the Q&A together with our editors. Mr. Koech. Okay, I'm guided that we continue with the just taking questions. Dixon Jeffwa, are you ready? If you are, please unmute. Dixon Jeffwa. I'm seeing the hands are going up really fast.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jeffwa. Karibu.
Yeah, I'm calling from Kilifi County, Ganze Sub-County, Kazandani Comprehensive. Yeah, mine is just to appreciate for the talk. It is very much beneficial to me, and I believe I have learned a lot from the beginning up to now. So I just want to congratulate the facilitators who are taking us through all the activity. Thank you.
Shukran sana Bwana Jeffwa, tunashukuru sana salamu zako kutoka Kilifi na tunaomba kwamba wanafunzi ambao watatumia hivi vitabu pamoja na walimu watanufaika. Thank you so much. One last chance for Evans Ondeki, then we take it back to Mr. Koech. Evans, when you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Evans from Nairobi, Chachami Academy. My question is in regards to the books. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Okay, my question is in regards to the books. I understand that there are some scrubbing off of some strands, sub-strands, because I've been attending the meetings. Now, how will we be able to guide the parents when they are going to purchase the books so that they don't purchase the ones that are carrying the content that have been scrapped off? Thank you.
Madam Kui, can I take on that? The panelists and our participants, the rationalized books, we've put something like a star to indicate rationalized, beyond just saying beyond saying revise, KICD approved, we've put a star there to show you something, and we've indicated in a communication box, rationalized. That should be able to differentiate on the cover page, very clear. So we've indicated on the cover page that the book is rationalized, beyond just saying approved. We have indicated. Thank you. That is so. Guide your teacher, your learner, your parents in that manner. Asante. Allow me, therefore, Madam Kui, to ask the following other questions. From Godwin Belen. Godwin asks, good morning. I'm Godwin Belen Wanjala from Sikunde JSS in Kimilili Sub-County, Bungoma County. Which is the best approach to bring on board slow learners in mathematics according to your design in KLB Top Scholar? And also thanks us for the webinar. Thank you so very much. We feel honored, Mr. Godwin, for being with us. So the best approach for slow learners for JSS. Panelists? Panelists? Yes, George.
Is Mr. Odhiambo? Okay. Now, Mr. Koech, yes. According to handling of learners who are slow and those ones who are with the ability of doing the work very fast, it is upon the teacher to know how these learners behave and how you can handle them. The design does not necessarily guide us on how to teach the slow learners and the gifted ones. So it's upon the teacher to see how he can handle them.
Thank you. The beauty part is that
and again, Mr. Obadia wants to add on that.
Hello. I also wish to add that the teacher should understand the learners well, so that he may seek to know which level is prohibiting him know what is to be introduced. It's not bad to go below or wherever was touched earlier to connect with the current topic. For example, if the child is not able to add numbers involving regrouping, the teacher can go over the addition without regrouping using the appropriate learning material and they connect to the other one.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Obadiah and Mr. Joel. The beauty part I was mentioning is that our book being activity-based, so the learner who would not have picked properly from the teacher during the activities, during the group work, they would be able to learn from the other learners and therefore pick up from there. The kind of learning, this being child-centered, the kind of learning approaches will largely carry everybody on board, especially group work in activities, amongst others. Thank you for the good question, Molimu. Let me ask another question from Richard Namati. Richard Namati asks, why is it that grade 7 book as much content and bulk to grade 8, yet have limited time in grade 7 to grade 8. Once more, Mr. Okindo had said, the curriculum design is guides on the amount of content so that to the point that you do not overteach. We believe in the Top Scholar, we've given you good content that enables you to teach the so much work that you think within the time given. It may not be allowing you to delve into the details of that subject. It gives you the opportunity maybe to introduce and to promise the learners that this content, because it's spiral, will get the balance in the next classes, grade 8 and grade 9. Anyhow, let me also have, but I want to assure you, Top Scholar grade 7, which will be available in the next 2 months, will meet your needs, given that we've written within the guidelines of the curriculum design, and at the same time, in mind of the child, whatever the nature of environment one is operating from, we've given you a great read that can help you and your children gel sufficiently and gain mathematical knowledge. Unless someone else would have wanted to give more. I want to move to another question up here. When do we expect the relationalized textbooks in our schools, especially rural areas? If you are a government school, they should be there. We've been delivering ours. And by January, everybody will have availed the course book and the TG. Otherwise, for the private schools, the books are even present today in your local bookshop. If they have not ordered, because we use the bookshop model, if they have not ordered, just make a request and we will supply. They do know how they get their books from us. In the meantime, there's a big question which I had really wanted to ask, which someone has asked up here. Before the big question, Gail and team, how do we have KLB mathematics revision book with well-arranged questions that students can use after covering the syllabus? Washington Ogendo is saying, hi, do we have a KLB mathematics revision book with well-arranged questions that students can use after covering the syllabus? Okindo, Omido, Obadiah, and Odiamo.
Good morning, team. To respond to well-organized revision book after all is done at ASS level and at grade 6, 7, grade 4, 5, 6. I can confidently say that currently we are working on a revision book for the JSS, which we expect to reach your bookshop not later than January 15th next year.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Omedo. You, Mr. Omedo, again, one teacher, Mediatrix Otando asks, Mediatrix Otando asks, why do we have matrices as a topic in JSS? If it is present, I would imagine it has been guided by the curriculum design. But what do you have to say, Mr. Omedo?
Yes, we have matrices in JSS, and the matrices is an introductory to matrices. And again, as you have said correctly, is a demand from the curriculum design. The matrix there is very mild and can be handled.
Thank you so very much. There's one more here for all of us. Richard Maribi is asking, when introducing a concept, perhaps before diving straight to the content, the publisher introduces handsome activities, grapes, grabbles. I don't understand. Maybe I could, let me read the way it is. When introducing a concept, perhaps before diving straight to the content, the publisher introduces hands-on activities, bracket grabbles, could be the activities, riddles, poems, etc. that strikes learners' interest. What this Richard is asking all of us is, let us endeavor, it's more of a comment, let us endeavor to have encouraging and interesting way of introducing even a mathematical content through poetry, riddles, and such like. And I believe we've done as much, Mr. Okindo and Mr. Omedo and the other panelists.
Yes.
Joel, you are not audible.
There's an
Joel, you're not audible. Joel,
Hello,
I can continue to pose. Yes.
Mr. Okindo is saying that, and I concur with him, that in our rationalized book, even the previous book, in every strand and every section, we give an opening activity which involves learning directly. I think we have, much as we are improving, we have tried to take that.
Thank you. There is another good question from Lewis Mwai. A very good question. Hello, good morning. In mathematics grade 2, on the topic numbers, addition by breaking apart the content given seems to be a challenge to learners. How best can one explain to learners for them to grasp the content easily? Let me repeat. In mathematics grade 2, on the topic numbers, addition by breaking apart the content given seems to be a challenge to the learners. How best can one explain to learners for them to grasp the question easily? Secondly, the second part is books are not yet in most bookshops, especially the rationalized areas. It could be because you've not gone to the bookshop to demand for the rationalized books. Otherwise, we have a press. If you came to Kenya Literature Bureau, and I want to encourage any one of you who is in Nairobi, you would see the beehive of activity. The factory runs on 24-hour clock, 24-hour term, no breaking of printing. Every minute, printing is on. Lunch break people do in shifts. So we have the books. Ask them to go. You go to the bookshop, place your order, and the book will be brought. And in the event, unlikely event that we've not printed, you will not take more than a week before your book reaches your end. Within the month of December, you have your book. Thank you. Someone to answer the first part to Mwai.
Yes, hello.
Me.
This addition by breaking down the numbers can easily be done using the counters. If you're using the bundles of sticks and the like, you can show how the number 16 is broken into 10 and 6. Then if you're adding another number the same, 21, the 21 is 2 bundles and 1 single. Then from there you combine the singles. The breaking can be made very easily using the counters.
Thank you.
Now,
another question.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello,
Can I continue? Saying that the use of appropriate learning materials, for example, the abacus, that brings the issue about the place value so well. It can be used. It's for the teacher now to vary the learning materials so that the learners can understand the concept.
Lastly, before I hand over back to Mukui, hello, Mr. Albert Apudo has asked, hello, facilitators. My question in grade 2 and 3, the issue of adding by grouping is it not ambiguous to these learners at this early age? Obadiah, adding by grouping.
Yeah, I can see the addition by grouping. It is not ambiguous at all because the emphasis would depend on how the teacher will approach it. If you use the appropriate learning material, I've talked about the sticks. If you break the number 26 again into two tens and 6 ones, then you're adding that 5. You're adding the single sticks, they are 11. How difficult it is to tie the 10 bundles you are left with 1 and you count the bundles now. It is not very, very difficult. It can be made to be, that is what we call demystifying the concept. And be a mwalimu, the use of appropriate learning material, it is easy.
Thank you so very much, Madam Mukui. Just a minute from Harriet, the last one from Harriet. She asked a little early enough. Hi, kindly answer for me this. What is the difference between perimeter and circumference of a circle? Example, diameter being 21. Kindly, is there a difference? Harriet Waviga, she says. Kindly answer for me this. What's the difference between perimeter and circumference of a circle? Example, diameter being 21. Kindly, is there a difference? We can shift the question, the answer to her, or someone can answer. I mean, yeah.
Yes, thing one. Well, the perimeter.
Audibility is low, audible.
Okay, sorry. I think this is interesting. Time to
You've gone
answer it.
under. Audibility is low.
Yes, I'm trying to shout. I'm saying that perimeter is universally defined as the distance around a closed figure. Now, the case of circumference is a special perimeter, given that it's the distance around a circle. Now, the difference between the perimeter and the circumference of a circle is only because that other one of our circle is because it's distance around. Thank you.
Very satisfactory answer. Back to you, Madam Ukui.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bwana Omedo. I'm sure all of us have now learned the difference between the perimeter and the circumference. There is a question from Richard. Richard is saying we are not seeing his hand, but now we have seen. Richard Namiti, if you may unmute. Richard has had his hand raised for the last 1 hour. Now we give you the chance to speak. Richard, please unmute. Okay. Maybe there he goes. Karibu, Richard.
Hello.
Please proceed, Richard. We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm asking. Hello.
Richard, you are audible. Point another, Madam Ukui, lift another person.
Okay. As we give Richard some time to settle, there is a hand up by Judith Ogola. Judith, tell us where you're listening from. I think Richard is back. A minute, Richard, just take 1 minute to pause in your question, compliment or comment.
I was asking a question.
Yes.
On log tables in grade 8, will the learner use the log table, the answers of the log table and comparing with the calculator, or only using the log table?
Odhiambo, if you are in the house, there's a question related to your presentation. Omedo, you may step in.
In grade 8, first to start with, they're not called log table. They're called mathematical table because they have a variety. Now, in the curriculum design, the use of these different tables is a demand as a specific learning outcome. So is the use of calculators. Specifically, they are not required to compare the answers, but they are required to learn the skills on how to use the mathematical tables and the skills on how to use the scientific calculators to solve mathematical problems. Thank you.
Next one, Mukui.
There's a hand up by Daji Daulgard. Daji Dalgad. Okay. I think we can take 2 more questions, Mr. Kwet, then I hand it over back to you.
Thank you.
There's Lucas Wabwire. Now I'm seeing Daji has unmuted. I don't know whether we should give him a chance. Daji, please proceed. Then Lucas will come in after you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon to you.
I'm Douglas, a teacher from Ryan. I was just concerned about the use of a calculator. Now, is it recommended that when the learners are being allowed to use a calculator, for example, you said from grade 7, and when you go back to the textbook, in grade 7, I don't think if there is any strand or substrand that is requiring a calculator. So maybe just to be specific, when they are having an exam, should they be allowed to use a calculator on all the questions, or the teacher should be specific on the number of or the type of question that the learners should be using a calculator? Thank you.
Mr. Omido?
Yes, I did say that from grade 7, for example, the squares and square roots, the use of calculator is introduced there. But in the administration of examination, I don't think it's practical to say that when you are doing this particular question, you raise up your hand and you'll be given a calculator. When a calculator is introduced as a tool of doing mathematics, it will be used as a tool of doing mathematics. That's my take.
Daji, are you satisfied with the response?
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Asante.
Aye.
I think, Lucas, now you can take the floor.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon, Lucas.
Yes, I am calling from Makweni, representing Christopher Kiamba Memorial School. So my question regards a calculator, because earlier on the presenter talked about a learner using a calculator in the entire of all the tasks. So my question is a calculator supposed to meet a specific learning outcome, or a learner is supposed to use a calculator in the entire tasks? Let's say, for example, it is an assessment that comprises a particular number of questions in mathematics. So is a learner supposed to use the calculator throughout, or he or she is supposed to use a calculator to meet a particular learning outcome?
We are saying that a calculator is being introduced from grade 7 for the learner to use to do particular skills. For example, how do you use a calculator to find the square of a number, or how do you use a calculator to find the square root? How do you use a calculator to find the sine of an angle, the cosine of an angle, such kind of thing? The tool that you have, you can only use to do what you know how to use it. When you are taught to use a hammer to hammer a nail, then you use it only to hammer a nail, but not to any rocks. So a calculator will only be used for the skills. Guide your learners, not for examination, but teach your learners to use calculator as a tool for gaining the requisite skills in the appropriate areas as outlined in the curriculum design. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Omido. Madam Mukui, allow me to answer one or two. One, Frederick Misoka Magara is asking, my concern is, why do we have few or none word questions in our books, and yet I have keenly made an observation in KPSEA and other grade 7 and 8 next exam assessments, all questions are neither direct nor knowledge-based questions, rather comprehensive stroke application questions. This is to our able panelists, Odhiambo, Okindo, and Mr. Omedo. Why do we have few or none questions, non-word questions in our books? Which I doubt under the new the revised rationalized book, we do have all of them as provided and guided by curriculum design. And maybe in the past, but as it were now, what we'll get in the rationalized mathematics course books, they have what is guided by curriculum design. Maybe Mr. Okindo Mido can delve deep into this.
What I can answer is that before these books were revised, before they were rationalized, the questions were being called mechanical. So our task was to align these questions, make them real life. So we have done that one, and now they are authentic. January comes, you'll see these books, they are very authentic, and those questions are now, the teacher can use them as he wants to use them.
Thank you. There is a good question, Kidogo, too. This I'm not able to locate quite easily, about fractions.
Mr. Coach, maybe as we look for the question,
yes.
Frederick still has his hand lifted.
Kindly give him the chance.
Frederick, please proceed. Frederick Misoka Magara. All right. As he's trying to unmute, maybe we'll give Judith Ogola.
Hello.
Oh, Frederick is back. Please proceed, Frederick.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Frederick. Please proceed.
Yeah, thank you so much for this vivid explanation. Actually, you have answered my question by setting up one more. How comes we are having, let me just call it objective questions in KIPSEA? And do you also expect the same in Kilea, that is the end of grade 9, as these learners proceed to senior secondary schools, or they will be given structured questions?
Mr. Omedo, Okindo, Obadiah, this is a question for exam council, but you have you can help our teacher here get some clarity on the kind of questions.
Yes, you have correctly. The question actually fits well with the Kenya National Examination Council. I can't pretend to be answering. However, the assessment indicators that we use in our book is to prepare the learners to handle any kind of form of assessment as it will come. The use of our book, the learner should be sufficiently prepared for any assessment, a structure of assessment, be they structured, be they objective questions, they should be definitely prepared by use of the top scholar method. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Frederick, I hope you are okay now.
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you so much.
Asante. Judith, when you're ready. Judith Ogola. Okay. We have Zachary Simiu.
Madam Mukui asked for me, Lucas Wabwire, to raise his question because he is wondering why I ignore his question. I have not seen it, sir. But please ask him to ask the question. Lucas
Okay.
Wabwire.
All right. Before that, maybe Zachary can take the floor.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, colleagues.
To you.
I'm listening from Trans Nzoia, Kipsagam Primary. First, I want to take this time to appreciate KLB for organizing this webinar.
Thank you.
Secondly, maybe I'll have a quick one, commenting on the arrangement of the content in our curriculum designs. Being products of the 844 system, we used to, I don't know if it was to cram or something, about topics, subtopics and their respective classes. But currently you find that, as my colleagues have said, there is some content for a particular grade, which seems to be content for a higher level grade. And other content from a particular class seems to be a little bit shallow. I don't know how you are going to address that. Then lastly is about the book supply. For the past years, we have had a problem with the supply of the textbooks. I don't know how you are going to address that this particular time around. Thank you.
Mr. Omedo, did you manage to pick that question, or Joel? Mwalimu? Simiu?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I got the question.
Is a question. Okay, can someone ask? Yes, answer.
Yes, it's talking about the arrangement of the topics or the so-called the strands, things that were hitherto in higher levels now seems to be brought to referring to topics such as probability, is referring to topics matrices, if my case is correct. Okay, the arrangement and the decision of which strand to be brought into a particular level actually fits with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Design. Again, when you look at the content that is presented there, in, for example, in probability, that's very introductory and very useful at that level, if I was to be. Even the matrices is just an introduction to matrices. Let us naturalize with KICD. I think it is manageable.
Thank you. There is a query I'd like to answer here from Alphonse Ngowa. Alphonse Ngowa is asking, in grade 1, 2, 3, we have KLB Visionary and also the early grades, the former Tusome for English, Kiswahili, and Maths, which are the most advisable for us to use. We are saying, as per this, these are the most, both of these brands or this series sufficiently meets your syllabus needs. Depending on the area where you come from, you can adopt any. But I can tell you, they have been built sufficiently well. None, I would say, drop one for the other. Should you be having Visionary, for instance, ensure that you have the Tusome or the early grade as the supplementary. Should you be having early grade as the course book, have the KLB Visionary as a supplementary. That would be my take. We are on the last part. We may not answer every question. We are on the last part of our facilitation. Unless there is a pressing question, I want to take up and call the meeting to a new order. Now, the new order means we are nearing to the end. I'd like to summarize, and I want to appreciate all the participants who have given their questions. Mr. Jumba, allowed. You raised your hand, yes.
No, I've not. Hello?
Yes, hello.
I've not raised my hand, maybe.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have nothing.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, our participants, for being part of the Kenya Literature Bureau series of webinars. I want to appreciate particularly teachers who've been there throughout. One, Vincent Nyagaka. I've seen teachers and even schools which have consistently been here. Sun and Shield in Nakuru. I've seen Masarian in Kericho. just to mention a few schools, I've seen the Camaruso being present. Feel appreciated, just to mention a few schools I may remember because I've interacted with in the past. Just feel appreciated that you are not being taken for granted. We want to say we had lined up these seminars particularly to ensure that you become an efficient, effective teacher when using the resources that you have, and importantly, to enable you make informed decision on what course material to use come next year. Today, we've been in a position to confirm and see that Top Scholar Mathematics, much as it is approved, beyond the approval, it does really meet your needs in terms of content presentation. In the light of the tenets of the CBC, the competencies, the linkages, the values, we appreciate a great deal the team that rolled this book into the fold. I want, therefore, to say thank you for the team which built this particular read. And I want to further say, sorry, there is something that popped up wrongly. I want to appreciate the team that does mathematics, the team that does our mathematics, for building for us the skill group, mathematical activities for grade 1, for PP1 and PP2, and building another run for to complement and supplement skill group, that is the Tayari Early Childhood Development Mathematical Activities, PP1 and PP2, along with their teachers' guides. The people who teach in that lower section do not feel left out. We have sufficient information for you. Important to you is not only the quality in terms of content, but also affordability. These are books your children can tear within the term without feeling the cost. You can buy new ones because they are very affordable. The team that we have, the cohort of the visionary grade 1, 2, 3, with the teacher's guides. You can see the teacher was asking, how do we tell? You can see above the RY of the visionary, there is a statement that is put there to tell you this is a copy which has been rationalized. It will appear also on the new cover of early grade mathematics, grade 1, 2, 3, just to ensure that schools and learners do not use titles or copies which have been overtaken by time. This is how truthful and clear we are to you in building you. So these are books which are rich in all tenets of CPC. You can see from the cover pages, you can see from the visionary, you can see values, you can see the linkages, you can see competencies among everything that you require. I'm running through because I was informed by one of you to say, we didn't see. Grade 4, 5, 6 have been rationalized. We've indicated revised or unrational revised edition on top so that you can tell that we are not being cheated. On the cover page of grade 5, you can see learning to learn. You can see citizenship. You can see so much. On the cover page of grade 4, you can even pick on values. On the cover page of grade 6, you can see critical thinking and problem solving coming your way. We want to ensure that you, the consumer of our books, get the right books. And I've assured you, as your lead marketer, that the books are well priced. They are not only great the way the editorial and publishing team has confirmed to us, they are equally very well priced. Every child should be able to acquire these books. Grade 7 and 8 by January, we have the new revised or rationalized editions being in the market. The one. So that is to confirm to you. The grade 9, you will not buy these books like what you are buying grade 9 over 800, over 1,000 from the market. You get this book below about 700 shillings and below, tax inclusive, unlike what we get from competition or other farms. I want to beseech you, teachers, you quality teachers, buy grade 9, recommend grade 9 for your learners because it is rich in content. It is also affordable. Content, when I say rich in content, you understand, terms of CBC. They've been written in simple language. One Obadiah, our facilitator, said our books are written in simple language for effective communication. We do not want to use big words to prove what. We've written using simple language. Our books, mathematical as they are, simple language for effective communication. Above all, they are affordable. That is what we as the publishing house have been given as a mandate also. Ensure that the books are circulated efficiently and effectively, meaning affordability. For the book to reach all over, they must be affordable. I want to tell you, we later I would have prepared a part of the clip to show you that by a KLB mathematical, four-figure mathematical table, because we have so many which are dirty out there in the market. When you buy, I will give you the contact of our officers to show you what to look for, so that people should not tell you my book, the four-figure table I'm selling goes for 150. Those which are sold like Mboga, like Matunda, along in the open for 100, for 200, with only the cover looking correct, but the content is upside, inside out. We have information that defines this book to be quality when you buy from KLB. Afford a copy from KLB directly or from our key outlets, but confirm with us so that you can show our learners the quality book. Whenever they will be sitting for examination and using our book, do not facilitate them to sit for the examination using a bad book, using a book that makes them fail. So do not perpetuate the failure or the possible failure of our children in mathematical area because of the wrong four-figure mathematical tables. This book is being pirated, and we seek your support by buying directly from us. Call on me, you got my number. Ask me, what do I look for in this book? To enable you interpret your top scholar grade 9 efficiently and walk to examination and hand over your child to the next senior level successfully. Lastly but not least, to reach me on that, we said we have our extra read dictionary of mathematics. The mathematics has been demystified in this book. Get a copy, very affordable read. Get a copy in your school. Ask every learner, every parent to buy. You will make mathematics demystified in your school. Otherwise, I want to encourage you, my dear team, my dear teachers. I've seen there's so many accolades appreciating Kenya Literature Bureau for organizing these webinars. I'm assuring you we are not stopping here. And until every common activity area you've been trained in. On Wednesday, we are running the English webinar. Hello? Yes. Hello? Yeah. On Wednesday, we are running the English webinar. On Thursday, we are running the Kiswahili webinar. And on Friday, we shall conclude with a series webinar to ensure that our teacher, while sourcing for top scholar, while sourcing for visionary, while sourcing for early grade, while sourcing for skill grow, while sourcing for tayari, you are sourcing the right material. So we will share in the course of the day the links to the remaining areas. We want to encourage you, therefore, our teachers, to be expectant and support Kenya Literature Bureau. We believe in you so very much. That is why we've given you all this level of facilitation. We believe in you. Believe in us by buying our books, by recommending to our parents, ensuring that the book fund buy their books 100% Kenya Literature Bureau. The book lists, schools, ask your teachers, ask your parents, reassign the top scholar, reassign KLB publications to your learners before they make purchase of a book, which will not be as greatly useful than as compared to our KLB publication. That is my appeal. Otherwise, before I call on our publishing manager to close, I want to ask, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a productive 2025. I want to wish you safety, take good care of yourself, continue reading from Kenya Literature Bureau. We have also the e-store, sorry, I almost forgot. We have the e-store where we will have all our books. Someone had asked initially. We have other affiliated platforms which have our books. Others will even have interactive, like the OPIC Cloud will be hosting interactive content from Kenya Literature Bureau. We have the EMOC from England, from London. The OPIC is from Estonia. The EMOC is coming up from London for hosting our revision material up to and including examination, NEC assessment reports. That is what our series will take you, and want to encourage you to be part of Kenya Literature Bureau. Thank you. May I request Kenneth Jumba to close for us this session? And I will ask Mr. Dede to be ready to pray. Thank you. Asanteni. Mr. Kenneth Jumba?
Yes.
Before you close the meeting, I'd like Mr. Joseph Nyiri. I want to request you to close the meeting for us. Mr. Nyiri, you've been out. Are you in the room?
Correct, I'm here.
Boss, for purposes of customer service center, assure these teachers that our books are available already before we close. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Justin Koech. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers of this country, my colleagues who are in the room, and our general manager, it's a fine afternoon. I've been together with you from the day we started the webinars. We are glad that we are learning, all of us together, and you have chosen Kenya Literature Bureau as the place to come and learn about the new curriculum and the materials that support that curriculum. From where I sit, I want to assure you that books have been printed. Customers have been calling. Customers in this case, meaning the booksellers, have been calling day in, day out, asking for these books. And the books are available on sale. Like Mr. Koech explained to us teachers, our route to market is through the bookshops. And therefore, we have ensured that the books are available for booksellers to buy. And then the booksellers will be able to avail the books to you. But should you find any trouble getting those books, please contact us so that we can refer you to the closest bookshop near you, so that you get the materials as required. Otherwise, I've also been checking your comments, teachers, and I've noted that there are gaps in some regions. There are areas where we have not managed to get the samples to you. Mr. Koech will share contacts maybe before the GM closes. He'll share contacts of all of us in all regions from Mombasa to Kisumu to Northeastern, so that if you need to see samples of the revised books, then we will be there with, in the shortest time possible. Those who are within Nairobi, do not shy from coming to visit us at Kijabe Street. We have a shop at Kijabe Street where you can buy a copy for your children. You can even buy 1 or 2 copies. We don't sell in large scale, but when you come here, you'll be sorted. You'll also get samples of these books So if you're in near Nairobi, you will be sorted in that manner. If you are not very near Nairobi, Mr. Justin Koech has just shared the list of the team that is out there. And therefore, from there, you can take a screenshot of that, or you can pick the relevant person who is in your region, so that this conversation does not end here. We know that January, we are expected to have kids in school with books, and therefore it is between now and then to make sure that those books are in your hands. Otherwise, thank you very much, and let's continue chatting even outside here on our Facebook page. I would like to say, Koech, that for those who are asking for the notes will be shared. But if you go to our YouTube, you can also replay all these presentations can be replayed on the YouTube channel. So you'll still get everything from the start to the end, meaning that basically, and those videos are saved there, as you know, with YouTube for as long as you want to watch them. So that is available for all of us whenever time you need them. Asante Koech, asanteni walimu kwa kuwa washirika wazuri na marafiki wa Kenya Literature Bureau. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Kenneth Jumba.
Thank you, Koech. Thank you, Bwana Nyiri. In fact, without belaboring the point, Nyiri has actually done it. What I would have actually said is done it very well. But just to add on that is that we are very grateful for our team of facilitators who included our authors, the team of experts who have interacted in the authorship of these books, Odhiambo, Bwana Kiburi, our editors of Medo and Okindo, for that good work you've done today. Bwana Koech, we are more than happy that the organization is more than happy that you are enabling our teachers at least to guide them in selecting the appropriate learning materials for their learners. So our teachers, we are happy that you are with us today. We are proud that you are able to join our webinar. And this is how we want us to work together, that we are able to partner, to interact, to seek clarification on any areas of our publications that you have concern on. We have our team of representatives who are scattered all over the Kenyan space. You go to Western, you go to Northeastern, all over the place. You have their details. Please take those details. If you have any issue with our publication, do not hesitate to reach them. They will forward the same to us so that we provide the necessary assistance in terms of clarification. You raised useful feedback. We are seeing that you are valued users of our publications, and we encourage you to sample all of them. And as you use them, please take time to give us feedback, actionable feedback. This is how we also identify our authors, because our authors are grown from our teachers who are Kenyan. And this is the people who get some of these authors are our sales reps in the field, plus the editors. So if you have anything on our publication in the course of using them, please do not hesitate. Write to us, we'll get back to you. We will even call you so that we have a sitting to go through it. And through that, we are able to identify and nurture our Kenyan-grown authors for these publications. I would also wish to encourage that ensure you have the very latest curriculum design. I heard some of us still talking of a syllabus. I think CBC graduated from a syllabus to a curriculum design. So ensure that you have the very latest in each learning area, because we have had various drafts. So you can always confirm with the KRB, which is the most latest curriculum design, because we happen also to be the organization that partners with the KRB when it comes to printing of this before they are sold by KICD. So we are able to tell you that this is the latest and this is not the latest. Some queries have been raised on curriculum designs that have already been updated. And if you continue using a curriculum design that is dated, you may end up covering too much, yet not useful in the current circumstances. So ensure that as you utilize our publications, you are also seeking information on which is the latest curriculum designs in those learning areas. And our sales reps, our editors, even ourselves at the headquarters, we are able to give you the very latest information in liaison with the KICD on this. So we are very happy you attended. We encourage that you continue being with us. We shall continue supporting each other. We will mount as many as possible of these webinars in future. And we encourage you to even talk to your colleagues who are not able to attend, that when we call upon you to interact in this area, please, you are more than welcome. And anytime you are in Nairobi, find out where KLB is, come and talk to us. If you have anything that can make you an author, you are not restricted. We don't have a specific group or team of people we use for these publications. You can also do stories from wherever you are, stories that reflect the lifestyles of our people in Kenya. And those are the kind of things we want to help our learners as they learn. So ours is just to wish you well as you utilize our publications, and thank you for your time and dedication in making this activity a success. I think I'll end there and say that we are more than happy to have you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, our General Manager, Publishing and Production, Mr. Kenneth Jumba Jabali. We are grateful for you to have graced this occasion. I'd like to request, therefore, that Mr. Adede is admitted to close this session with a word of prayer. Request that you admit Mr. Adede. Yes, Mr. Adede has raised his hand. Admit him to close for us.
Yeah.
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Mr. Koech?
Good afternoon. We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you so much. Let's bow down for a word of prayer. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, dear Lord, we thank you. We glorify your name for the moment that we have had in this webinar. Thank you so much for the information that we have gathered. Thank you so much for the panelists that have taken their time to teach us and enlighten us on the things that we need to know as teachers in this new curriculum, Jehovah God. Thank you so much for KLB for organizing such a seminar and giving us a chance to learn, Jehovah God. Thank you so much for teachers that took their time to listen and to the information that is being passed across. We dearly come before you and seek that you may be able to bless each and everyone and continue guiding us throughout. For this my humble prayer in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Mr. James Okeo, and we are sorry for the teachers who are supervising examination or invigilating examination that you are not able to receive the bulk of this facilitation. However, as advised by Mr. Joseph Nyiri, find us on YouTube. You'll get replay the entire facilitation. And again, on Wednesday, we are here with English. On Thursday, we have Kiswahili. And on Friday, we shall crown with CRE. And that will cover the entire course from PP all the way to grade 9. So we advise you to plan again to reach back to Kenya, to come back to the KLB webinar room for more informative sessions. Asanteni sana, may God bless you. Bye-bye.